Want to talk now about the cars, U.S. cars, data showing that used car sales in the U.S. are going up despite soaring prices, and tax season also has something to do with it. We're going to talk about it all with Nguyen. She is from Carfax giving us this data. And thank you for joining us this morning. This data shows that cars are selling twice as fast as this time last year. Talk to us about.
Right. So new Carfax data shows that both car sales and prices are surging well beyond that typical seasonal pattern. So if you think about tax day and around this time, of course, people are ready to take those checks and turn them in for a down payment. Maybe it's a car they've been thinking about. But this year is particularly different because we're seeing that surge even higher. So we actually took a look at the data between February and April of this spring and compared it to last spring. And the surge in used car prices was nearly 2 times that compared to last year. So just to kind of give you a perspective there, let's say instead of paying in the past an extra $500 during this time of year for a car, which is a little bit typical for this time of year, this time around for this spring, car buyers are paying somewhere around an average of $900. So you can see that increase and that surge is up 2 times. And it's not just the prices, it's the sales. So even though the prices are going up, the sales are going up as well. For used cars, they're going up fast. So that surge in used car sales is more than twice what we saw last spring.
So, what are some of the specific factors, market factors, driving this surge?
So, of course, there's tax day. I kind of explained that they get this check. Maybe it's somebody who has been thinking or saving up for a down payment on a car. This is a pretty popular time for people to put that money down. The used car shortage. Remember, after the pandemic, new cars weren't being produced that quickly. So now it's being trickled down the 3 to 4 years later. Those new cars that would have been created would have been used cars now. So that shortage is being exacerbated. And then the nation's economic uncertainty, of course, is creating a lot of anxiety, and it's building this dynamic and very competitive market right now.
What category, vehicle category, is doing particularly well and why?
Well, there are a few categories that are doing okay. It's usually the luxury brands, but when we're talking about the cars and the brands that are actually costing a lot more, nationally, we're taking a look at those used vans and minivan prices. They jumped a whopping $800 in March for those price hikes. And so the Southeast region, which I know you're in, North Carolina, that is no exception. Those vans and minivans saw the biggest increase in average used prices across this region of about 3.5% month over month. So let's just give you an example so you can kind of wrap your mind around what 3.5% means for that area that you're living in right now. Let's say you're getting a minivan and you're getting it and it costs around $30,000 usually. If you're getting it around this time, at least what the numbers were in March, it would cost another $1,000. And that's a lot of money for someone maybe who had been saving up for a long time.
Yeah, absolutely. How long do you anticipate this upward trend in used car prices to continue?
It's a very tense market right now, and it's hard to forecast exactly what the prices are going to be in a few months, but we do know we're just at the front end. When we look at the statistics, when we look at the analysis of that bell curve, we're just seeing it lift up. So if you're looking to buy a car, for instance, right now, this probably, if you need it in the next 3 to 4 months or so, this is probably the time in which you would try to purchase that car. But if you can wait it out, if you can wait for all this uncertainty to go away, perhaps a year from now or so. It's hard to forecast again, but if you can wait, this is a good time to wait as well.
How about the new car market? Is that having an effect on the used car market?
Absolutely. So when we look at the new car market and the cost of new cars, they're going up much faster than the used car market. And because of that, even though they're also selling pretty quickly, but because those price hikes are going up even faster than used cars, some people who may have had dreams of getting that new car, they might be looking for a more affordable option, which means a lot of people are going to be starting to go and look for those used car options, which is why we always recommend to do your research before. Get that vehicle history report before you look and buy those used cars, because that can give you more of an idea of that accident history. That can give you the service records, the past ownership. There are many more tips out there for car buyers if you are in the market to look for a new car.
Any segments of the used car market then that aren't experiencing these high price increases?
So nationally, we are seeing costs go up, but again, those luxury brands that are across the nation, those are not quite getting hit as badly. The other thing, though, is that some areas are still getting hit with those high prices. Used luxury SUV prices, for instance, those SUVs are up about $500. Non-luxury SUVs rose about $400. And what this tells us is basically that there are family haulers that are being bought right now. Families are looking for that next big and safe car, and that's usually what we're going to see. So we're going to see more of those large cars getting bought over those smaller cars.
Any other advice for people who are in the used car market, whether they have to buy it really, really right now or if they can put it off? Any last minute tips that people should know about, Em?
Yeah, that's a great question. If you have to buy something right now, there's a few tips out there. Again, get the vehicle history report, really know and do your research in the cars that you're interested in, but also know your budget. We have to understand that there are financial options out there. Think about that early, but then also stay open to the models that may fit your price range. Of course, take it for a test drive. In this type of market, when there's so much competition, you might find something online that looks like a very good price that you're going to go get. But you got to make sure you go in person, make sure that car is really there, then test drive everything, experience the performance, the comfort, the features. Always go to a reputable dealer if you can and ask questions. Know about the pricing, know about the recent repairs and upgrades. And then another key thing in terms of tips for any car buyer out there is to get an inspection. Have a trusted mechanic do a pre-purchase inspection, because they have that trained eye that maybe you and I wouldn't be able to see if there's a problem with the vehicle.
And Nguyen from Carfax, great information this morning as people are ready to buy, in North Carolina at least, those vans and minivans. So we get it. Thank you so much. Appreciate your time this morning, Em.
Thanks, Jade.